One of my favorite types of techniques to show on this podcast are really the things that just kind of save you time, that kind of automate those manual processes. And that's really why all these new softwares come out with all these new features is because they're trying to save you time on the things that you kind of have to do. Um, but it's not necessarily something that's getting you anywhere creatively. It's just something that you kind of have to go through to make your document look the way you want. So we're going to be looking at one of those features in Illustrator. It's a small thing and it's kind of hidden away, so you might not even know about it, but it's a pretty cool feature nonetheless, and hopefully it'll save you some time. Before we get to that, this podcast is being brought to you by GoToMeeting. GoToMeeting gives you a great way to do a whole lot and save a bunch of money at the same time. And you do this by setting up meetings online. This way you can meet with people. They don't have to pay to travel to where you are. They can meet with you no matter where they are in the world. Basically, you just start a meeting, they log in through their browser, and you talk to them over the phone or over voice over IP or both. And that way you can have, that meeting the way you're used to having it over the phone and being able to explain things, but you can also show them on your computer. You share screens. And it also has some great other features as well, a couple of which are, you collaborate in real time. You can record and review your meetings, so if somebody can't make it, you can record it for them. You can even pass the controls to somebody else and let them show you what's going on their side. So a great collaborative tool, but for us designers, I think a great thing also because our clients, a lot of our clients don't understand what's going on unless we can visually show them what's happening. So it's great in that respect. You also save a bunch of money because you pay one flat rate and meet as many times as you need to. Now, if you want to try this for free, you can do that for 30 days. Just need to go to the URL at the top here, gotomeeting.com/techpodcasts. That's gotomeeting.com/techpodcasts. Fill out this form at the bottom, and you'll be able to download and try the software for free for 30 days. And in that 30 days, set up a bunch of meetings, check it out, see if it's something that's really going to work for you. All right, so we're going to be working in Illustrator today. And like I said, this is kind of just random little feature. It's not something that's groundbreaking, but it's something that can save you a lot of time in the way that you do things. And if you find yourself like taking items from one Illustrator document and trying to paste them into another one, that's what we're going to be dealing with today. So basically I have a flyer set up here, or at least the beginnings of a flyer, and I've organized everything pretty well, which is something that I always recommend that you do so that if you have to go back to this, at a later date, you know what's going on. Okay, I got my layer that has copy in it. I've got my logo right there. I have my frame, which is like the blue framing that I have here. And I have my images. So everything's all labeled and in its right place. But I'm going to take this stuff and let's say I want to take it to a new layout. I want to start making some changes, but I want to keep this one as well. So I'm just going to open up a new document here. And so did I actually copy that stuff? So I can just go to edit, copy, or of course, the regular key command of Command or Control C. I go to my new document and paste it. Now there's a couple different ways you can paste. If I just do a regular Command or Control V, that's just going to paste everything, and it's not necessarily going to worry about where it is on my document. It's keeping everything together the way it was, of course, but it kind of just randomly slaps it down. A better way to do this is to either paste in front or paste in back, and that kind of has the same effect as paste in place, which is not an option here, but paste in place puts it in the same. If the document is the same size, it's going to put it in the same place that it was in my other document. As you can see right there, it centers everything. Everything looks exactly like it did in my first one. But what we're more concerned with here is the fact that everything's on one layer now. It all grouped it all together. I lost my nice layer structure. I lost, all the labeling that I had on my layers, and that's not really what I want. So this is where the trick comes in. Not really a trick, but if you use the little flyout menu on the layers panel here, go down to the bottom, there's an option called Paste Remembers Layers. And that's all we got to do is click that, and then if we go back in, we can see that it has a check mark, which means that it's turned on. Now I'm going to go back and say Edit, Paste in Front. It pastes everything like it did before, and look at this. Now I have all my original layers. They're even named the same as they were before. So now I just save myself a bunch of time of having to go through and break these things out and put them on each on their own layer again and name those layers. So pretty cool little trick there. And I just want to show you one other thing. Um, I have this other layout here. Let's say I want to try something different. I want to use the copy and, of course, the image of my product and all that, the logo and all that. But I want to try it in a different looking layout. And I already have a couple of things here. And we don't have to have all these already. I just wanted to have, okay, I've broken out. I use the same naming on these things. So frame has the same name. My images um, also have the same layer name. And my layers are already there, of course. So I'm going to go back in here and just grab what I need. So I'm going to grab all this copy. I'm going to grab the image of my product, and I'm going to grab this logo. So you can see the little boxes on the side indicate that I have everything from this layer, and I have one image from this images layer. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that stuff and paste it over to this one. And if I go back into here, you notice that even though I'm in a new document, I still have paste remembers layers checked on. So that's kind of like a system, not a system-wide, but an application-wide thing. If I turn it on for one document, it's going to be turned on for the others. So I'll go ahead and edit, paste in front, which doesn't necessarily work on this one all that well because it's a different looking layout. So I'm just going to grab these other items down here, not this one, and just move them down. And there we go. So it pasted everything in. Everything looks good. It gave me my copy layer with all my copy on it. It gave me my logo layer, and that has my logo on it, of course. And you notice what happened here. I already had a layer called images. And what it did, it said, okay, well, in the other document, this image was on a layer called images, and there's already a layer called images. So it didn't make a new one. It just went ahead and put this one on my existing images layer. So also something to think about, if you have layers in your document that are named the same thing already, just know that it's going to actually seek out that layer and stick it on that one. It's not going to make a new one. You're not going to end up with two layers named images. So that might be a desired result, or it might not be a desired result. Whatever the case, just know that it does that. But again, this isn't this isn't groundbreaking technology, but this is something that can save you a whole lot of time, especially if you're having to transfer items from one document to another. You can keep that same structure that, it took a good, couple of minutes to move everything onto its own layer and name the layer and make sure that it was something meaningful that was going to make sense to you when you come back to this document. So it's a good thing to do. It's saving you that couple of minutes that you might have had to spend in your new existing document to do that again. So again, not earth-shaking stuff, but hopefully it'll help you in your workflow, and something that probably not everybody knows is there. And again, I always tend to say this, but go to these flyout menus and check out all the stuff that's in here, because there's a lot of great stuff. Some of it you don't even know what it does or why it's there, but it could be something that really helps out in your workflow and makes things go faster. All right, that's it. We'll see you on the next App Clinic.